Everyone, welcome to the channel. I am Paula. Today I'm going to be sharing a vlog style video sharing all of mine and my husband's meals throughout the day today on a low carb lifestyle. We don't call it a diet, we call it a lifestyle because it has truly become a lifestyle for us. And so today I'll just be sharing meals and whatever else interesting happens throughout the day. Don't have any real plans other than doing some coaching. I'm up in my office right now getting ready to make 2 coaching calls. I am a health coach. If you are in need of one, I have several coaching options down below this video in the description. Also over on my website, lowcarbrevelation.com. Also, I'm going to be making bread today. I've had several requests to show how I make my egg white bread. I use Maria Emmerich's recipe and Indigo Nilly, kind of like a variation of both of those. And it's very limited ingredient. It's mostly egg whites, a little egg yolk powder, some allulose, and it's very simple to make. And I've had lots of people asking me how I make my bread. The last time I showed my bread in the video, everybody said it looked really good and theirs doesn't turn out like that. And they just wanted to see a demo. So I plan on doing that for you all in just a little bit. Other than that, not too big of an exciting day. We'll see how things go. Callie, my cat, always, oh, she heard me. Always make sure she gets her little cameo in my videos. Say hi, Callie. She's purring. She loves to be on camera. So it is 10:30 and all I've had today so far is coffee. This is my second cup of coffee. I do have some news for you all from Woman's World. I got approached by Woman's World magazine a couple of months ago. I can't even remember the date. I think it was back in May or June. And they asked me if I wanted to be in their magazine. Seen me on YouTube and wanted to do an article of me talking about how I lost weight and how different things in my body have healed. And so I said, sure, I would like to do that. And the way that I understood it in the very beginning was that it was going to be within the month or so that I was going to be in the magazine. One of the editors that I had talked to had said, got K hair on my face. One of the editors that I talked to had said that it was possibly going to be in a June issue. Well, it didn't happen that way, and we had trouble finding a photographer in the area that I live. I had to go downstate. It was a whole thing. I actually filmed shopping for my outfits and talking all about the whole thing back, I believe it was like at the end of May, early June. So then I had my photo shoot. I had the cat's whiskers. I had my photo shoot. I had the phone interview with one of the editors who was going to write the article. And then nothing happened for all this time. So I've had a lot of people asking me, when are you going to be in a magazine? I keep checking when I'm in the grocery store and all that. So I finally emailed the editor yesterday and I asked her if she had any updates on when the article was going to be. I told her I had people asking me, when is it going to be? People were getting excited. So she came back right away with an email that she was actually planning on contacting me within the next couple of days here, that I can proofread the article, fact check it, and all of that. And then the plan is for it to be in the September 30 issue, which will be available September 22nd through, I believe, the 25th. That might be wrong, but it's before the 30th. So it's the September 30th issue, but it will be available like that week of. Be sure to update the date as soon as I get it confirmed, but it is planned to be in the end of September. And I just appreciate all of you who are supporting me in this and people that really want to see the article. I appreciate it so much. It means a lot to me. So that's just an update on Women's World. Also, I appreciate those who have checked on us. I haven't filmed a video. I think it's been about 3 days. I just needed a break. Things have been really busy. We had our Patreon Zoom call last night, so I had to prepare for that. We do a group Zoom call over on Patreon once a month. I am taking some classes right now to get certified in some additional things for my coaching. And so things have just been really busy the past couple of days. I just haven't picked up the camera to film any videos. And I actually have had people checking on me. I've had a couple of emails, couple of messages, couple of comments asking, if everything's okay. And I really appreciate that so much. That means so much to me, just knowing that there are people when I don't post a video wondering what's going on and if everything's okay. We're doing good. We're doing really good. And it's just been really busy over here. So back today, and I'll be showing you those meals, and I'll also be showing you how to make that bread. So stay tuned for that. I'll be back in just a little bit. 30, getting ready to eat our first meal. I'm gonna make some chaffles. I'm getting ready to make some savory chaffles right now. I think I'm gonna fry eggs, just make fried eggs and have a fried egg sandwich. I have some bacon also going in the air fryer, but let me show you what I use to make my chaffles. All right, so I have a Belgian waffle maker. I do have the little chaffle irons too, but this is just out on my counter. It's easy to use. It makes really good chaffles. I'm making one large one here, but it's actually 4 sections and it makes 4 pieces. So I have my chaffle mixture here. The recipe for my chaffles is over on my website. This is just eggs, cheese, garlic powder, salt. I normally put bacon crumbles in here, but I'm waiting for the bacon to get done over here, and then I'm going to throw a few pieces of that in there. That's going to go in here until it is nice and brown and crispy. So as soon as I get this sandwich all put together, I'll be back. All right, so this is my breakfast sandwich this morning. Check it out. I have 2 fried eggs on here over hard, and then I have 2 pieces of bacon on here. I forgot to put the bacon crumbles in my chaffles, so just put them on top there. So I'm gonna have this delicious sandwich, very filling because it's packed with protein and fat. I fried my eggs up in butter, and then I have some sparkling water here, unflavored, and that's gonna be my breakfast for today. So Ed's making himself an omelet, ham and cheese, and that's gonna be it. I will be back later after I make another call to show you how to make that bread. See you soon. All right, so I'm getting ready to make some bread. This bread is made out of egg white powder. I have that right here. A few other ingredients. This bread ends up being nearly 0 carbs per slice. It's like 0.1 something carbs per slice. Very low. I don't even count the carbs in this when I eat it. So Maria Emmerich is the one who came up with the fabulous PSMF bread. And then Indigo Neely has done a lot of baking with this bread, different ingredients, and made all kinds of breads. So you can go over and check her out if you want to see all of those different kinds of breads. Recently, I saw she made sourdough bread from this egg white mixture. I am just stuck on making this simple recipe because it's good and I really enjoy it. It's 0 carb. I make French toast out of this. I make cinnamon toast out of this. I use it to make sandwiches with. It's good for a lot of different things that you would use bread for. 2 important tools that I think that you need to have for making this kind of bread is an electric mixer. You don't have to have a KitchenAid electric mixer. You could use a hand electric mixer, that's fine. You're gonna be beating this egg white powder until it is stiff white peaks. It takes 5 minutes, and that's a lot of time doing it by hand and a lot of arm strength. So you need an electric mixer of some type, and also you need a kitchen scale. If you do not weigh the powders out, you will not have a consistent result every time you make this bread. When I first started making this, I would measure it out in measuring cups. Every time it came out either too chewy or styrofoamy. I had different textures every time I made it. Then I started weighing it out on a scale, the way it is recommended to do, and it comes out perfect every single time. And so let me grab some out of the refrigerator and show you what it looks like when it's all done. I store my bread in a Ziploc baggie. You can freeze this as well. I just keep it in the refrigerator. We use it up pretty quickly. I showed a piece of bread the other day. I think it was when I made French toast, when I was doing my egg fast. And I had so many people comment and say, how do you make your bread? It looks so good. And this is it right here. All right. It's got nice air bubbles. And I'm gonna show you how I do it. I think the most important part is weighing it out, weighing out your powder. A very important tip. Make sure that your mixing bowl is very clean and there's no butter or anything in here that you might have used before that is gonna cause your egg whites to fall. You want it to be perfectly clean on the inside. If you make 2 batches, which is what I made the other day, I made 2 back-to-back batches. I've never doubled the batch because you'll see it really fills up this bowl, 1 batch does. So if you wanna make 2 loaves, make sure that you wash everything thoroughly in between the batches, because if you have any egg yolk powder on your mixer or in your bowl, your egg whites will not stiffen up. So you just wanna make sure that your bowl and your little mixer thing, your beater, whatever this is called, is very, very clean. So I'm gonna start with 1.5 cups of water. You're gonna wanna be sure that you set this down on a counter and really eyeball it at level to make sure it is exactly 1.5 cups of water. You cannot measure with your heart on this recipe because it will not turn out if you do. I measure with my heart with a lot of recipes, but not this one. So the next thing that I'm gonna add is my egg white powder. This is the brand that I use. And we're gonna see if there's enough in here. Measure out on your scale. I'm putting a bowl on my scale and I'm going to zero it out to 0 grams. You want it on grams. Whatever I put in here will be the amount of the powder. You want 120 grams of this powder in this bowl. I'm being so precise. This is a very precise recipe. All right, we're gonna see if I need to open another one. I hope not. All right, you can't see that, but it says 84 grams. $105 grams. I think we can do it. I think we can do it. Oops, too much. It says 122 grams right now. I'm gonna make it exactly 120 grams. That's how precise this recipe is. $120 grams. And I still have a little bit left in here. These containers, by the way, are great if you have kids or grandkids for Legos or Hot Wheels or something like that. They're awesome. So don't throw these away or recycle them. Use them in your house if you have kids for toys. These are great. So I have 120 grams of egg white powder here, 1.5 cups of water here. I'm going to add this powder to the water. I'm also going to add, you're gonna need this again, so just put that to the side. I'm also gonna add cream of tartar, 1/2 teaspoon. I always close everything up as I'm going because I've knocked stuff over before and had a big mess. Salt, 1/2 teaspoon. And then you're gonna put some allulose. This is allulose. You're gonna do 1/4 to 1/2 cup of allulose. Now, some people don't do well with allulose, and you can make this bread without allulose, but your bread will not have this brown crust on it, which is fine. It will be just fine. It will taste just fine. It will just be a similar color of white all over. I like the allulose because I feel that it makes the bread a little bit softer in texture, and it also gives it a little bit of a sweetness, which I like too. So I'm gonna be using 1/2 cup. I put the full amount because I feel like it makes it softer. Only thing that I don't put in this mixture right now is the egg yolk powder. And I've had people ask me, can I just use egg whites instead of egg white powder? It's so expensive. Or can I use egg yolks instead of egg yolk powder? It's so expensive. But I have never tried the recipe where you put in egg whites with the egg white powder. Maria Emmerich has a recipe where you can mix the two together, but you have to have egg white powder in here. That's what, it works almost like a flour, so to speak, and causes it to form into bread. All right, you need the egg white powder. The yolk, I have never done it with just a yolk. I use the yolk powder. I do it just like the recipe says, and I get great results. So This egg yolk powder, you only use 6 grams. It lasts a very long time. And I just keep it right up there in my cupboard. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on. First, I'm gonna turn it on, let it incorporate a little bit. Let it get mixed up. And then after about 30 seconds or so, I'm gonna turn it up on high and I'm gonna let it beat on high for 5 minutes. And that's precise as well. I set a timer on my watch and I let it go for exactly 5 minutes. So I'm gonna do that right now. Set a timer for 5 minutes. This does splatter everywhere. 5 minutes. It's been exactly 5 minutes. Now I'm gonna add my egg yolk powder. I have my little scale here. I'm gonna zero this out to 0 grams. And we're gonna add 6 grams of egg yolk powder to this. So, that was so good. That was 7 grams, close. All right, 6 grams right there. I just sprinkle it around on the top. And then I turn this back on low. Number 2. Let it whip in there a little bit, but not too long. Maybe about 30 seconds. Let me move this over. All right, this is what it looks like. Nice, whipped, stiff peaks. You want to go through with the whisk and just hand stir and make sure that egg yolk powder gets mixed in. That's it. All of this batter is going to go in one of these loaf pans. You need to line it with parchment paper. I don't use cooking spray or anything. I don't do this too fancy. I just kind of press it down in there like that. And that's how I do it. That way you want to have some hanging over so you can just pull it out when the time comes. And my oven has been preheating to 325 degrees. Very important, 325 degrees. That you preheat your oven ahead of time. And I'm just going to go ahead and dump all of this mixture into here. Then all you gotta do is shape it. Just smooth it out and shape it. This is gonna go in the oven, preheated to 325. I'm being so precise about this recipe because I'm telling you, if you don't follow it exactly the way that it is supposed to be, it is not gonna turn out right. It's just not going to. So it needs to be precise. Most of the recipes that I make are very easy and simple. This is pretty simple. You just have to do it step by step and it has to be precise. So let's get this off of here. There you have it. This does not rise much at all. It kind of just bakes just like that and comes out looking just like that. So this is gonna go in the oven, 325 degrees for 40 minutes. Real quick while that is baking, Ed has been requested by several people to show how he sharpens his knives that he cooks with. And so I filmed him yesterday and I'm gonna put that clip in here and let him explain to you how he sharpens his knives. And so I'm gonna go ahead and roll that. I'll see you after the bread is done. Action.
Okay, so I've been requested to show how I sharpen my knife. All we have is this little Kitchen IQ knife sharpener. It's real basic. I'm sure you can probably get it just about anywhere. It has a coarse side and a fine side. So all I do is I draw the knife back to me 3 or 4 times is all it takes, and you'll feel it getting a little smoother. And then you switch over to the fine side and you do it 3 or 4 times. Same thing.
All the way to that.
All tip to tip. Yep. All the way across, keeping it even. Now, if you look really closely, you may be able to see a little barb roll of metal on the end. So what I'll do is, this is leather, and I just take it and draw it across the leather and break that barb off. It doesn't hurt your edge, but it does take that excess metal off of your knife. That's it. Now I have a nice sharp edge. It's good for cutting this way. It'll last pretty good. And it's real easy to do. It's not complicated.
All right, that little knife sharpener, I'll try to find one like that, a link for one of those. And
Kitchen IQ.
yeah, and if I can find one, I'll link it down below. All right, that's pretty simple. Bread is done. It's been 40 minutes. I pulled it out. I let it sit here for about 5 minutes. Then I pull this out of the pan. It lifts out pretty easy, like that. And then I just peel off. You have to peel off the parchment. It does stick, but it's not bad. And then I set it over here on this cutting board and I let it cool completely. Then I slice it and I store it in the refrigerator in Ziploc baggies, just like I showed you earlier. So that is how I make PSMF egg white bread. It's great.
All right, so this is Ed's dinner. Some chicken wings fried in beef tallow, salt, and then I have some homemade ranch on the side, and that's gonna be good. And then my chicken tenders are still cooking. Did they kick off again? I think it did. We keep blowing fuses. All right, I'll be back. All right, so this is my dinner here. 4 chicken tenders. This is my crispy breading recipe. The recipe for this is over on my website, lowcarbrevelation.com. It is very good. I've had people ask me, how do you get it to stick so well? You have to grind this into a very, very fine powder in a food processor or blender, and that's how I get it to stick. Today I just took some chicken strips, dipped them in egg, and then dipped them in the breading, air fried them for about 25 minutes, flipped them over halfway through. And then right here, I have some Havarti dill, it's Havarti dill cheese. This is from Aldi, it's really good. I just have a couple of slices of that to have here on the side. And my homemade ranch dressing, recipes over on my website as well. And this is gonna be dinner. I have a sparkling water, and that's gonna be it. If I get a little snack attack later, I found these at Walmart, and these are delicious. These are Max pork rinds tahine. If you've never had these before, you have to go to Walmart and see if you can find them. They're pretty clean in ingredients. There's no maltodextrin in these. Max fries their pork rinds in lard, so these are really good. So I might have some of these later when I'm sitting and watching TV, and maybe another sparkling water. And that's gonna be it. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe and give us a thumbs up, and I'll see you real soon. Have a great night. God bless.